Mike, you get to dress, it looks like 3 teenagers here tonight. We're talking to John about the jump and just how valuable an opportunity this will be. How do you see it?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think the time in the room with the guys, I think the time, eating with them, lifting with them, being around our people is probably more valuable in this game, but it's still something you look forward to, and so that's good for them as well, and you're in confidence. Take it back to your junior team. They're all ways away from playing, obviously, but you want them to keep getting better. And when you draft them, if the draft is right the day you pick them, if you don't develop them, then 2 years later the order's not right anymore, and you'd actually like to go the other direction on the order of the draft. So we'll see what happens.
A lot of newness for John, obviously, in this camp. How do you feel he's made the adjustments so far?
For who?
Tavares.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, fine. He works hard every day. Comes in here, he's a real professional. He's dialed in on the game. He's a hockey junkie. He wants to know. He wants to learn. He wants to be better. And so that's a great example for all of our guys, to say the least. When you get a player in his prime and he's been through the ups and downs, and got some battle scars on from things not going your way all the time, I think that's a real important message to our guys.
You emphasize the importance of having a life outside of hockey. And first-time dad like Jake, what does that do for your perspective when something like that happens?
Well, the first thing that happens, you realize you don't get any more sleep every day. And the other thing you realize, when you got married, it was just dating with rings on. And then when you have your first child, now it changes life for the better forever. But that first little while, she's a grind, to say the least. I asked him this morning, has your wife kicked you in the middle of the back yet and said, go get the baby, I'm sleeping? And he said, no, the mother-in-laws are in town right now, and the mother. So, he's doing all right.
What have been your impressions of SDA?
Oh, he's a good kid. He's a really good kid. He feels good about himself. He's got a smile on every day. He wants to get better. I mean, he'll be in for an eye-opener tonight, but that's part of life. But he's a good kid, but he's a long way from the National Hockey League, and he's got to get to work on his body, on his game, but those things don't happen overnight. That's going to take some time. But he does have an enthusiasm, and he's got an infectious personality, and he's an energy giver, and I think that's important for team sport.
You may only be 18, but when you have a kid like that who moved away from home at 13,
right.
Do you see maturity beyond maybe his actual age?
Yeah, I mean, you might say that. I think you're going to see that in general with lots of our guys. I think what you see, though, is he's got a confidence and an infectious personality, and he's not out here hiding. He wants to be out here. He thinks he should be dressed, which that's a big part of it too. And we'll watch him tonight. He's got Mules there to look after him. We put another center out there, and talk to Mules about that. And so he's got to take some face-offs for play in D zone. That's the way it is.
Mike, with the physical tests you guys do at the outset of camp, how does that fit into the sort of overall, judgment that you put into the decisions you make?
Well, it doesn't affect the judgment of the decisions we make in the end. It affects what our feeling for what your work is. And what I've learned over time is, when they know what's coming, they usually do the work because they want to pass the exam. And they want to be feeling good about themselves. You earn confidence by doing the work. If you don't do work, you arrive and you know the test is coming, and then you lose confidence. So our guys did a real good job. The bar has gotten higher and higher each and every year. And I think that's real important as well. And you can just tell by the way we work now compared to what we did a few years ago every day. That's what makes people better, is when you come to work.
Most people feel Buffalo will be vastly improved. You look forward to the next 2 nights to seeing what they have?
Yeah, I don't think we get to see it tonight, but I think we get to see it tomorrow. So it'll be good for our guys that get to go tomorrow. We'll be probably a little shorter in some ways, but not so much on the back end, but up front. But that'll be a good test for those guys, and we did that as well. So, but no, they should be a good team. I've known who Botterill is for a long time. He's a good man, a good hockey man, and he'll fix things there over time.
Mike, you probably feel like you can put Patrick Marleau anywhere, but I'm just wondering the thought process of matching him with Austin to start the year, or so far.
Well, I just thought last year he did an unbelievable job with Mitch Marner, and was around him all the time and did a real good job there, and I just think it's another opportunity for him. I think it's been even more important this year at the start, just because we have no Nylander. So it's given him a stable guy to play with. And the other thing about it is, when you got a 39-year-old guy out here skating on the ground every day and working hard and preparing well and doing everything right, you want those guys to be around good pros. So we've been real fortunate that Patty Marleau chose to join us last year, and then now we're able to get John to do it this year. There's a real example for our guys. So it's not a coach telling you what to do. It's not your dad or your agent telling you what to do. It's actually a guy who's just doing it and doesn't have to say anything. You just get to watch him.